Good evening and welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust TV, your trusted platform for in-depth conversations on politics, policy and governance. I'm Hamza Idris. I'm happy to be back after a short break. Tonight we take a deep dive into the violence that erupted at the APC Northeast Stakeholders Meeting in Gombe, where the omission of Vice President Shettima in the endorsement of President Bola Tinubu sparked outrage from loyalists and supporters of the number 2 citizen. The meeting, which had in attendance National Chairman of the party Abdullahi Ganduje and the APC governors from Borno, Yobe and Gombe, and other top party leaders, ended in chaos in a way following the deliberate omission of Vice President Shettima by some leaders of the party, including the Vice Chairman of the APC in the region, even though some governors and party leaders endorsed the joint ticket. This situation has generated anger and apprehension among participants at the meeting. The party leaders failed to actually collectively endorse Tinubu along with Shettima for a second term, reinforced suspicion that the president may be planning to dump the VP who hails from the Northeast as being peddled in different quarters, signposting a seeming cold war between the vice president and the president midway into their first tenure. But all these are speculations within the realm of political calculations. Also tonight, we'll be spotlighting the reactions that continue to trail the recent celebration of June 12, with divided opinions on quality and credentials of the controversial presidential election of 1993. And to help us analyze the issues is Barrister Buhari Yusuf, a lawyer and public affairs analyst. He will join us shortly after we return from break. Don't go away. Viewers, once again, welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust. We now have our guest, Buhari Awalo, in the studio. Welcome.
Buhari Yusuf.
Yusuf, of course. We are welcome.
Happy to be with you, viewers.
Okay, but we will now take a look at what transpired in Gombe at the APC Northeast Caucus meeting. Yes, Barrister, that was, Mustafa Salu not only escaped. You can see people howling cheers and all that.
You see, when you think in democracy, you cannot tolerate opposition. Automatically, you generate opposition internally. And that, again, is telling you that all the elite consensus about the candidature of the president, of the governors, by way of consensus, is rejected by the population.
All right, I would like you to stop there because we'll have our reporter now from Gombe to share his thoughts so that you can build on that. Yes. Yes, hello. Yes, Hassan, how are you?
I am doing okay.
Yes, can you give us a rundown of what actually happened at the meeting? Who did what and why?
Actually, this gathering is started very well with a crowd of supporters chanting songs in support of APC. However, there is talk among most of the participants, especially those who allegedly come from Borno State, that there are some rumors that President Tinubu may drop Shettima for as his running mate in the coming 2027 election. So while those stakeholders are delivering their speeches, they are not endorsing Tinubu, President Tinubu, together with Shettima. However, most of them were lauded and commended the achievement the achievement by the office of the Shettima. They specifically called him his name. But when it comes to endorsement, they are not calling the names of Vice President. which raises so many questions, especially among the Kashim Shettima support group in the convention. So most of the Kashim Shettima
supporters, yes,
are trying to
push. Okay, now quickly, yes, Hassan, you know we have 3 governors, APC governors. We have Professor Zulum from Borno, Malam Buni from Yobe, and then Yahaya from Gombe. In a word or two, what did Zulum said? Has he endorsed Shettima?
Yes, of
what
course.
What about Buni? Has he endorsed Shettima?
No, Governor Boni, during his speech, he
was neither here nor there. And then what about Yahaya? Has he endorsed him?
Yeah, Yahaya also said he just copy and paste the already established protocols.
Okay, so he agreed with what other people have said.
Yeah, of course they are in the middle now.
Okay, but, apart from Mustafa Salih, who actually clearly said that only Tinubu or things like that. Did other people speak? Like maybe people from the National Assembly in the midst of the chaos, have they said anything?
No, actually it is a roadie session, so yes. Even when they are saying something,
you were unable to actually capture what they said.
Yeah, what really they are saying. But Professor Zulum, the governor of Barr, is specifically lauded the achievement of Vice President and the President Tinubu, and specifically asked President Tinubu not to drop Kashim Shettima as his running mate in the coming election.
All right, thank you very much, Hassan Kohli. We will still link up with you most likely tomorrow to give us an update as to what transpired. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
And viewers, before we delve into this conversation, we have some tidbits. The police in Benue State on Sunday tear gas protesters at the Wurukum roundabout in Makurdi metropolis of the state. Our correspondent reports that the protesters had besieged the popular roundabout at about 9:30 a.m. in a bid to express their concerns over the killings of over 100 people in Yalawata of Goma local government area of the state on Saturday. Earlier security operatives drawn from different formations on Sunday morning mounted surveillance at strategic places in Makurdi, the state capital. A correspondent who went around the metropolis observed heavy security presence as early as 7 a.m. alongside police armored personnel carrier stationed at the Wurukum junction. And in the national scene, renewed Israel attacks hit Tehran and other Iranian cities for a third straight day as Iran launches retaliatory strikes on Israel. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says the Iranian response will stop when Israel halts its attacks on Iran. Iranian media say Israel attacks have killed dozens of people and wounded hundreds. In Israel, at least 13 people have been killed in Iranian attacks, with 380 others injured. Meanwhile, Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 55,362 people and wounded 128,741, according to Gaza's health ministry. An estimated 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks of October 7, 2023, and more than 200 were taken captive. And viewers, you will also have the opportunity to call and share your thoughts on these 3 major issues: the APC, Benue, and Gaza. Thank you very much. I mean Iran. Buhari, so now I want you to build on what our reporter, said. You see, Hassan Kohli said it's like a divided house.
Well, you see, this is not unexpected. It's no longer a rumor that the relationship between the president and the vice president cannot be said to be quite cordial. And I think now it expresses itself in this convention, if you will call it convention.
Yeah, it's like a regional convention.
Yes, and like I said at the beginning, APC, I think, is too busy trying to poach the opposition, thereby forgetting the internal crisis within them. And it is manifesting. This is just in small measure. But and again, APC is not pretty clever by activating campaign issue at midterm of a term. It's going to be serious, and then the implosion will start very early, and the party might not be able to contain it. This is just one. But I think good counseling on the president would be that he should discard this issue for now And let me say this. For now in the North, there appears not be, there is no one single politician that has the followership of the vice president. At least he has.
This is your estimation.
Yes.
You think he is actually a power to reckon with?
I want to give you an example. At least by the presentation of his governor, the Borno State is with him. He might have half of Yobe. Tell me any politician within the North that has a control of his state. One politician that can deliver a state.
Why do you think he has control over his state? Because
maybe because
we know
of
that there is this problem of governors having issues with their predecessors.
But
can we now say this is a clearly different scenario?
He has been able to clearly walk the tight road. And he has a good relationship with
Zulum.
Yes.
Whose pedigree is also really acceptable.
Yes.
Across.
And I want to say, removing Kashim is harder, a more Herculean job than for President Tinubu to bring in another person to replace him.
Why will it be difficult? Because
the interplay that will come up is going to elicit a lot of serious issues that might break down the seeming political support in the North.
I know you follow APC affairs closely.
Yes, seriously.
Yes, so I want to understand why the problem between Tinubu and Shettima, allegedly, because we didn't see it, and wherever you see the vice president, he will tell you that it's fine.
Well, I mean, it's a consensus among the observers that is a piece of the graveyard. But of course, if you note, he has never acted as an acting president. That again is a statement.
Unlike Osibanjo?
Unlike Osibanjo, and the president has been traveling. And his visibility too is a little bit suspicious. It doesn't translate well into the spectrum of the politics. Then his advisor that just left, he didn't just leave. He gave his reasons of leaving. And of course, the reasons are not palatable. And I think APC should better start, activating a machine that will solve this problem. Otherwise, might be the impulsion point.
Even though I don't want to go foreign shopping, to give example, that all over the world, you really see vice presidents, having, tangible role. It's very rare.
Yes.
Now, I don't know, maybe I can bet
yes,
if we open the line and said, okay, Nigeria should tell us who is the vice to Trump.
Of course,
very unlikely.
Buhari had an excellent relationship with his vice president.
And that was why.
It's a history.
And apart from,
and then the first term of
who
Atiku
actually was a super vice president during his first term, but during the second time, they clipped the wings and all.
Well, of course, you cannot compare Atiku with Kashim. Atiku is a way down grassroots politician. He has been a politician all through. He has been a party manager. He has been a party mobilized. He has a party mobilization.
But you can see how actually Shettima also managed, from a banker now to commissioner, governor 2 times. He now installed another governor.
I think Shettima needs to up his ante. Seriously.
What can he do differently apart from the submissive nature? You can see.
He's not alone. He's not alone. I'm not here advising him to make his visibility more than the president. But he should begin to deepen his tentacles too. Because he has what it takes to open up his frontier. At least tell me, he has, you can say 2 states and some few other
he can
part
pick,
of that he can pick some people to work. But if you notice, he's seriously hiding behind the president, which I think is not wrong.
But do you think there are some politicians from the North who are actually eyeing that seat?
Of course, a lot.
Like who on?
A lot. No, I don't want to mention.
No, mention this politics program.
No. I don't want to mention any name for now. But this crisis presupposes that there is an existence of resentment around the president, and this resenting element are the people that are brewing this. Otherwise, there couldn't have been any. Of course, the function of the vice president is well defined in our constitution.
And they said that Shettima was not actually nominated for Tinubu. Tinubu picked him because of what he did to him.
Yes.
They know
2 things might happen. maybe he picked him to settle certain political arrangement, yes, imbalances or arrangement. Maybe he notices some, because in most cases, very rare principal officers or pick quite competent person. Nobody can question his mental capacity. Nobody can question his intellectual powers. Nobody. I believe that he's sound. And his knowledge of the economy, I think, would have been an asset to the administration. But if you look at him, he doesn't look like a comfortable person within the ambience, the political ambience. He doesn't look it. No. Unlike, if you remember, Osubanjo that was working with confidence, with with aura and swag. But
now the other card being thrown at us is this religious card that maybe the president is also trying to assuage the Christian community in both northern and southern part of the country.
That maybe one too, yes.
Because some say that he didn't perform. Yeah. If elections were to hold today,
that one too,
Tinubu will be defeated.
That one too, he has to be very careful.
Okay.
To balance up this, because he wrote on certain sentiment. If he wants to go against that sentiment, he will have a big war waiting for him. So he has to be
now
very
change crafty. The constituency to say, okay, he will back on the...
And then the constituency he might want to placate its relevancy in politics of Nigeria is not quite serious. So I think he should be very careful working. That was what I said at the beginning, that if I were him, or if I were to advise him, I would say, sir, maintain your relationship with this, your vice president. It's cheaper, easier for you than thinking of bringing up a different person, because the contestation is going to be so massive that it might break the little unity that you have. So he has to be very careful. And
are you not really agitated? Like governors, they are losing their steam now. That power, before when you say you have 3 governors at an event, how dare a political appointee, a vice chairman of the party,
the governors foolishly relinquish their power, their authority, their constitutional authority. Of course, they've never rode on moral authority, but the legal authority, they are losing it. They appear so psychopathic that they are losing if you remember, the governors during Obasanjo, under the leadership of Abdullahi Adamu. If you recall, Amechi as the chairman of, governors had...
They have like license for life and death.
But it's unfortunate.
But is it good for our democracy?
It's not good, because it is reducing the really democratic drama that comes with this kind of contestation. It's making it very uninteresting. That was why at the beginning I said, lack of opposition is mainly the reason why opposition is generating within the APC, the ruling class. Okay. Because they don't have anybody to fight now.
All right,
so of course, the normal thing is you originate war and within yourself.
All right. Now, Benue, some newspapers and broadcast media reported over 200 within 24 hours, including soldiers, civil defense, a whole family wiped out.
Lord have mercy.
What is happening? You are from the North Central.
I'm from the North Central, and not only Benue, even in Plateau. But what I think we are losing out is identification of certain guru as the culprit in this, losing sight on other non-state actors that are becoming strong these days. I don't think we should be this simplistic about herders, farmers. We have gone beyond that.
It's beyond that.
It's beyond that. We are now have issues that are sometimes inter-tribal, inter-ethnic issues. But we always look for the normal convenience of herders, farmers. You remember the Ghana in Benue, who was killed in confrontation with the soldiers. Before he was arrested, his activities were all attributed to herders until when he was arrested. So I think we should expand our interrogation of our crisis and insecurity in Nigeria, particularly northern Nigeria, and particularly so the central, not central. But if we don't do that, I know it happens in Plateau.
But my concern, Buhari, is that the governors are playing ostrich. I read it when the governor of Benue said politicians behind this, and people are asking if they are politicians. You are the chief security officer. Your people are being killed. Name them.
Politicians can do it. Politicians.
But why can't the governor now say, okay, it's Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, and Mr. D?
May God help him. Is the politician is complaining about our politicians at the federal level?
He said they are in Abuja, the National Assembly.
So you see, look
then
at
when you talk about National
Abuja,
Assembly,
of course,
you have House of Reps,
yes.
you have Senate.
Yes, so you will discover that the guy is going to be helpless and hopeless because the concentration of security in our federation, portend this kind of danger, where the governor is just called the chief security officer of the state, but practically and theoretically, practically, he is not. The commissioner of police take order from the federation. And
right.
what have you?
So many things to ask about this, but then what do you think the president should do? Some people are calling for a state of emergency. To solve the problem.
Again,
you are a lawyer.
Yeah, the president, just like I said in one of your programs, doesn't have the constitutional right to remove a governor.
But he has
now
removed
the one in
Obama.
River State, but it's becoming a serious legal issue, not only legal issue, moral issue, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it because the guy, the sole administrator hardly fits into the system. Because if you look at the laws, it doesn't recognize the office of any person called sole administrator.
So it will require, uprightness for this killing.
Yes, and I think we should prioritize security more than what we are doing now. And if we want to declare state of emergency on security, it should be by way of escalating our participation, our control, and prosecution of the infraction that happened.
Instead of allowing people to go away
removing,
with what they are doing. Okay, we will now move to the Middle East, the Iran-Israel war. What is your understanding of this? Because many Nigerians and many people in Africa, because this is very far, but it's about life. They don't even understand why these people are fighting.
Well, first of all, we have to understand that in the Middle East, there is a country called Israel. Before 1948, there was never a country. There was never a country called Israel. Before 1948, it's a creation of the Western world and America. What do you call it? Settler colonial project. And those that created it must maintain its existence by everything possible. Because the creation of State of Israel created geographical aberration around the Arab countries. It was created after obliteration of the other inhabitants of the place. So that informs the reason why this problem continues and persists. Now you might ask me, why Iran? Yes, the historical problem between Israel is always with the Arab, its neighbor. But why Iran? Iranians are not Arabs. Iranians are Persians. But why has it been an agenda of America and Israel to either one of these put their lackey as the head of Iran, or do a regime change to bring in anybody that has been westernized? so that he will not to them in court pose security threat to Israel. And why? Why should Israel be concerned? Or why should Israel get disturbed about the presence of Iran? Because of power contestation. Iran remains the only check on Israel.
Check in what way?
In terms of support of other deprived people, like the Lebanese, like the Palestinians, and what have you. So, the only alternative left is to remove it from the map of the world. But unfortunately, it's a tested civilization of 10,000 years.
You mean Iran?
Yes.
Tested civilization.
Is the oldest still nation that still stands. 10,000. They had empires within them. They too conquered. So, because of that, they are expert in war and what have you, but they've elected to be peaceful within the context of this 20th century and what have you. So the issue is, you begin to ask us, why? Because Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the United Nations Charter prohibits a country from attacking a sovereign country. This is exactly what Israel did. So Iran doesn't have any
Maybe
option.
there was provocation.
Well, I don't know what you might call provocation, because we have not seen Iran attacking Israel. Look at the Israeli government admitted the fact that we went on preemptive strike, never known to international law.
It's not known.
You don't have the right to preemptively attack, thinking that he's going to do that and you attack. But I think today they are getting a march in Iranians.
A march in what way, Buhari? When you look at it, some people believe that in the last 3 days,
American intervention.
It has shown that to greater extent, Iran is vulnerable in a way, not the way it's been seen before now.
Israel too is vulnerable.
How?
Because it's a population of 9 million against population of 90 million.
Well, not only but that, you can now see we don't have to put live.
Only that, tell me of recent history, a country that has given Israel a run for its money these 2 days. Tell me one. Even the 1973 war, it has not been as devastating as this. And again, the world should be very careful, because Iranians are not known to capitulate. They fought the entire war. They fought the entire war. If you can remember, they had a war in 1981 with Saddam that was supported by America, by Israel, by France, by Britain, by the entire Arabs. Iran withstood them for 8 years. For 8 years, the entire world was fighting Iran, and they survived them. And they come out stronger. And the reason why you see the sentiment today globally is in support of Iran is simply because of the atrocities, the genocidal atrocities committed by Israel in Palestine, in Lebanon.
We have quoted some figures, of course, about people.
And look at it. What kind of a war is this? And today, you touch somebody that is willing to fight you. And Iran doesn't have a choice, because it has to escalate this escalation dominance. For what? For its local population. It will not want to lose face.
Yeah. Now, quickly, maybe I will ask you a question on this June 12. During our interaction much earlier, you say it's like there is another side to the June 12, because we have to open our line and we have less than 10 minutes to go.
Okay. In our discussion, I told you that people are not really conversant with the other side of June 12. And
what is the other side?
Yes. And I think it has been this hyperbole, exaggeration of June 12. First of all, June 12 is a creation of the military. They gave the date for the election. they cancelled an election of other candidates before this. If you remember, the senior Eradua was leading in SDP, the Muchuroma was leading in NRC. They cancel it. They bring dichotomy in terms of political participation by way of introducing one new breed, banning Nigerian first-class politicians in order to pave a way for the military, their supposed friends.
So your estimation, remember, it is not what people...
Yes, and we, students of history are beginning to think that we are elevating an issue that is not all that, a genuine democratic
But don't you think
process.
that we Nigerians are actually the architect of our problems? What do I mean?
No, I think those that are campaigning, leveraging on June 12th, they have right to do that.
What I'm trying to say is, now look at the recognition by the president, this national honor for the heroes of June 12th.
But look at even the name of
yes, people said the whole of this, protests and all that took place in the Southwest. So it's legitimate if you see more names from the Southwest compared to the North. How many people protested
like
in the
us said that Nadeko and later they convert to June 12 are Southwesterners. Yeah. Today, with this position, we are vindicated that it was a regional issue, not a national issue. But don't forget, Abiola won a national election. No, was on his way to win a national election.
Well, they said he won.
No, I will not as a lawyer, because there are legal protocols that ought to be observed before declaration of who wins election.
All right, thank you, Barry. So I will now open the telephone line so that our viewers will also have a say on some of these topics that we summarize, issues that happen within the week. Now, over to you. Use the telephone number on your screen. Call briefly because we have very limited time to wrap up the program. Now, again, before we get
I want to say something on this June 12 issue. Secondly, don't forget there was court decision cancelling the election. It was not respected. The election went against court order and court of competent jurisdiction.
You appear to be the anti.
No, because it's gathering momentum that is inimical to our democratic growth. Some people validate their political, credential by way of associating with June 12, and it shouldn't be so. Another now setting. Arrangement by the military to sustain itself.
Buhari, we have a caller on the program. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Sunday Politics.
Good evening.
Yes, we are happy to have you. What is your name? You are calling from where?
I'm Mr. Samuel, calling from Kwara State.
From Oyo State?
From Kwara State.
Kwara, that far. Okay. Which of the topics you want to comment on?
Yes. I just want to, on the issue of Benue.
Yes.
I would like our leaders to please look into the issue of insecurity.
Okay.
Almost all states in Nigeria are not safe now. Honestly, our hearts are bleeding all the time for this innocent blood that are being shed. Looking at the one that happens in Benue, small babies lost their lives. What do they want for all these Achilles? We are just appealing to our government from the federal, state, and the local to please end all this insurgency. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samuel, for calling all the way from. You heard him. I want you to comment on what he said. It's like almost all of us have been, our attention has been carried away. Look at what's happening in Gombe.
Yes. And I told you, I just want the government to be quite on top of it. But my fear is the identity given to crisis in Nigeria today. Yes.
The identity question.
Yes. That we seems to tag a tribe as the culprit in all, and we are losing track. A place is attacked in Mangu, close to Gindri. It was not attacked by Fulanis, but it was attacked by local plateau elements.
And their names were not mentioned.
But later on, I heard that it's my village. I went there, I saw it.
Okay, we have a second caller on the program. Hello.
So we should be very careful.
Yes, welcome to the program. Hello? Oh, we lost the caller?
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, you are welcome to Sunday Politics. Let's have your take.
Yeah,
What
this
is your
is
name?
Peter
Calling from
Frank.
where?
My name is Frank. I'm calling you from Kefi, National State.
KP. Okay, you are welcome. Go ahead.
I just want to comment on the Benin killing, just like the last caller commented.
Okay.
Please, I want to ask our Nigerian securities in particular, are they tired of defending the defenseless? That's the question to them.
Are they tired of defending the defenseless? Okay.
Yes.
Good
It's a
question.
question for them to answer. Then if they are tired of defending defenseless, then there should be a law in the National Assembly that should not guarantee all the civilians to defend themselves, because these are human lives that are being lost per daily basis. These are not animals. These are breadwinners, children, innocent children. What have they done to deserve to be killed in that manner? It's very wrong. So if they cannot defend the poor citizens, then the citizens should rise and defend themselves. Everybody should be armed without no apology, because these people they are mean and they have a mission and they have a target. And if it's not accomplished, they will not rest. So it's high time for people to rise. Let them rise up and defend themselves. When the securities are failed to.
All right. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
All
enjoying
right.
your program.
Yes. Bye-bye. Yes. He said he likes the program, and thank you. Yes. So you see the issue of profiling, but I don't want to disagree with you, but it's like I have an alternative view to this, which maybe you will say a word or two, that governors, they have a role to play in actually unraveling this thing. But before you answer, we have another caller on the program. Hello, who is on the line?
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
My name is Ibrahim Muhammad.
Okay, what? Okay, can you reduce the volume of your TV set, please?
Yes, my name is Ibrahim Muhammad.
Okay, Mohammed. Okay, from where?
From Ukari, Taraba State.
Ukari, Taraba. Okay, what do you want to comment on?
On the issue of dropping Shettima.
Okay. Go ahead.
What I want the Mr. President to understand is that during our last election, most of the electorate who voted based on our religions. Take it or leave it, it's like that. Mostly because of that Muslim of the team we talked about, so many of us went for Tinubu. If he thinks dropping Shettima now and picking other, maybe any of his preferred candidate from the north, but maybe a Christian, it's free, it's a free world. But he should know that what brought him into this seat now is Muslim ticket. So we don't know who is going to bring in, but the truth of the matter is, if he drops Shettima, who is he bringing now from the north? A Christian or a Muslim?
Good question. Thank you, Mohammed. You ended the conversation, with a pause. You are the last caller on the program. We'll wrap it up with Buhari here in the studio.
If you remember very well, that was what
we are
I
going
said.
back now to
if he drops
Shettima question. Yes.
But this religious identity politics is very dangerous, very dangerous. And I think it has been used now, no longer attractive to the political class anymore. But all I'm saying is that he might pick anybody. He might pick a Christian if you want. He might pick a Muslim if he wants. But he should be very careful the way he's going to handle the situation, because it's going to boomerang.
It can be an albatross.
Yes, it can be a serious albatross against his this thing. I think sometimes you make do with certain level of discomfort in order to have your focus intact.
And don't you think they're actually distracting themselves?
They are.
This is midterm.
Yes.
I mean, instead of them to take stock
of what they have done and what the aspiration, the expectation of the masses, where politics have already taken taken
maybe
over.
Maybe the electorate no longer matters in this.
You are right to say so. Otherwise, delivery could have been the most important thing now. But look at the counter effect. Look at the combustible effect of this politicking at this level. It's already creating internal crisis. So it's capable of removing the focus of the government on the masses. It is a dangerous trend. In developed democracies, election issues comes around 6 months, 7 months to the expiration.
All the time is used to deliver.
In fact, they try to cover things that have not been done or they have not been covered. But now, midterm period has been totally politicized, and priority is given to election issues. Look at the embarrassment that took place in Gombe.
And it's not working.
Because it's going to affect, at stage now, it's going to affect the relationship between the president and the vice president and their supporters too.
This will affect
yes, they have already created a serious,
needless problem.
Yes, needless problem. Needless.
All right, Buhari Yusuf, I wish we have more time to chew these topical issues. Unfortunately, the time is not on our side. I want to thank you very much for making it to our studio.
Thank you for giving me this
and we hope to have you some more.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And viewers, that's a wrap on today's package. Join us tomorrow for new edition of Daily Politics on Trust TV. From here, I am Hamza Idris. Good night. See you tomorrow.